This is Travis, Unit 10 Journal MM669. I got to answer these questions. What goals did you set for yourself at the beginning of the semester, and did you meet these? I really didn't have that big of goals. What I wanted to do was just learn as much as I could about kids. And what I learned was when dealing with children, you're going to spend more time dealing and educating the parents than you are the kid. It is like half the battle dealing with the parents as well as the child, and that makes it like hair pulling out tough. I don't know if I could do kids for a long-term basis. I could do one or two, but it's a very tough individual group to work with, especially the young kids, and I have a hard time. I get real bias. I got a big bias about what I consider not as good of parents as they could be, and that makes it a little tougher. So my goal was to learn as much as I could, and I felt like I did a pretty good job on that. Oh, look, what feelings and prejudice and bias did you experience during your clinical? I have parent bias. There's some really good parents out there, and there's some terrible parents out there. Some of the parents that will give their 10 or 12-year-olds a bottle of stimulant and say, take this one pill a day, to help with school. I'm like, I don't know if they're quite at the capacity where they could understand how this and a little teaching, medication management and stuff like that can go a long ways. But man, I just sometimes want to pull my hair out, but hey, that's just the things that you have to deal with. And that's probably why this is not my particular area of expertise that I want to go into, but it was good that I understand this area and have a better feel for it. How did you manage your anxiety, self-doubt, and uncertainty? I don't know if you ever do. It's imposter syndrome where you just don't think you're worth a dang, and then you just one day like, oh, I kind of know what I'm doing. And I think you develop that over time. I still don't have that. I still have anxiety. I'm still nervous about any medication I give. You're double questioning your diagnosis. As a student, you're just always overthinking things, and I think I do that quite a bit. But I'm working on it. That's all I can say. What understanding or insight did you develop during your clinical experience? I learned that kids' lives are just as messed up as adults, maybe even more, because they're at the mercy of somebody else. But I mean, I had a kid stealing a car that was in trouble with the law. Like these are adult problems that these children are having. So that gave me a completely different insight into like what could be going on in these kids' lives. I mean, these kids are worried about going to juvenile hall. I had a patient that was getting stalked by an adult. I mean, I had a bipolar 16-year-old. I mean, everything that we have in adults, we have in kids, except less maturity and guardians and parent intervention. It's a whole new can of wax that I don't even know where to start to open. So yes, that taught me that the kids have just as much problems as the adults. How has a reflective practice impacted you as a person or student or as a provider? I don't know exactly how to kind of talk about that. I kind of summed that up in my other stuff. You look back and you're trying to just learn from your mistakes. The thing that really causes me anxiety, I guess, a little bit is given what I consider like a big gun, risperidone and Seroquel. I mean, Seroquel not as much, but risperidone especially. I mean, it's a heavy duty second generation antipsychotic, and man, we give a lot of that to kids for impulse control and a lot of things, and I'm nervous about long-term consequences of what we give up today with the short-term gain of getting their control and mood under control versus are we shortening their lives? Are they going to have metabolic syndromes later in life? Are we going to have all kinds of health issues? I mean, how do we judge the benefits versus the risk on such a young person at such a young age. And that to me is just, it's a conundrum that just, I don't know how to quite answer that question. So yeah, there's a lot of good information that I'm always going to continue to learn. So yeah, I'm going to continue to look back and learn a lot about kids. And I had a really good semester and I had fun. So this is my last journal for this class. If there's any questions, let me know. Thanks, Travis Pearson.